I used to pass a bearded beggar on my way to school, usually seated in a corner of the xiaojie, whose cry was, 通通的通通的我纯爱，杨前童子快快来. You will note that he says 童子 instead of 童子. I suspect he was well educated and could also tell stories for clients. Late at night, when the night watchman made his rounds of the darkened streets and hutungs, beating the hour of the watch on his hollow stick, one might hear the vendor of apricot dumplings. 星儿 boy, boy. 星儿 boy, boy. These were an intensely sweet confection designed to give energy to late-night gamblers. Also at night, or just before daybreak, one might hear the sound of camel bells, as the caravans of Bactrian camels brought loads of coal from Kalgan into the city for the coming winter. I cannot imitate the bubbling squeal of the camels, but I do have an authentic Peking camel bell. One of the earliest Peking calls in my recollection goes back to the 1920s. The vendor is selling mantao, a delicious steamed bread of white flour in the shape of a large dumpling, about 4 bites for a hungry boy. His call was, 有几馒头，有几馒头. The seller of pig's blood had a rather ominous call. 猪血，猪血. The seller of cloth advertised his presence with a little drum mounted on a stick with the beaters attached to either side of the drum like flails. These beat the drum when the stick was twisted back and forth. In summer, the seller on the street of cool soft drinks, based on tea with a little fruit juice, used to advertise his presence by beating on a little brass bowl. As the autumn approached, the seller of corn began to make his rounds. The Chinese eat corn in the mature condition and call it 老玉米, or old corn. I've never since developed a taste for sweet corn. The corn seller's call was 卖大小老玉米. Also in the autumn came the large sweet Peking dates and apples and grapes from beyond the Great Wall. In the lanes about the old examination halls, one used to hear, 葡萄哎，买甜苹果哎，买大枣儿。葡萄哎，买甜苹果哎，买大枣儿. Of course, Chinese opera was tremendously popular, and one used to go to the opera as one goes to a baseball game today, to cheer on the performers and to eat peanuts, cakes, and to drink tea. Operatic arias were often heard on the streets as ordinary people going about their tasks would sing a snatch of opera. Looking back on those years, one song from Silang Tanmu, recurs again and again. Silang, the fourth son, is separated from all that is home, all that is familiar and dear, and sings, I am like a tiger away from his mountain, surviving, but seeing strength and courage ebb away. I am like a bird domesticated in a cage, with enough to eat, but singing comes hard. I am like the wild northern goose come south. 我好比无力山，受了负担。我好比笼中鸟，有翅难来烧。我好比南来耶，but the street cries of the vendors stay in the memory. 葡萄哎，麦甜苹果哎，麦大枣哎，葡萄哎，麦甜苹果哎，麦大枣哎。葡萄哎，麦甜苹